Hey, what's up everyone? Nick here. Welcome back to the Resident Evil 5 Professional Difficulty S Rank No Damage walkthrough. We are moving on to Chapter 2-1. As always, I'll start off in the organization screen here, and I want to point something out. So as usual, we'll kind of be sticking with the main thing. I'll have the Magnum, Sheva will have the machine gun, and I'm going to go ahead now and give Chris the rifle. So during my playthrough, I unlocked the infinite ammo for the rifle, and so I'm going to go ahead and throw that in my inventory. I'm also going to load up with some grenades, some frag grenades, and some flash grenades. I'll go ahead and sell everything else since I don't need it. Now, I need to point something out, something that completely slipped my mind, you'll notice, or you might be asking, why does Sheva have health items, and why do Chris and Sheva have the melee vests and the bulletproof vests? Why do they have these things if this is a no damage walkthrough? And what ended up happening is when I started this, I had no intention of it being a no damage walkthrough. That was never my plan. My plan was just to do a professional difficulty walkthrough. I didn't even plan on it being S ranked. I was just going to do straight professional, nothing else. Well, so that being said, that's why I put the vests on, that's why I gave Sheva all those health items, because Sheva was going to be my healer. And so what ended up happening is I was playing the game, and about halfway through the game I realized, whoa, you know, I haven't taken any damage. I also have been getting all S ranks. And so it was about 3/4 of the way through with the game when I settled on the idea that, hey, I'm going to make this a no damage S rank walkthrough. And I just forgot. I mean, that's the honest truth. I just forgot that those items were even in my inventory because I hadn't used them up to that point. So I never bothered to take them out. Now, the health items are going... Either way, those would remain in Sheva's inventory, because if she gets hit, she needs to heal herself. You know, when I say this is a no-damage walkthrough, I mean this is a no-damage walkthrough for Chris, the character that I'm controlling. Since Sheva is controlled by the AI, if she happens to get hurt, she needs to be able to heal herself. Now right here, the dogs, a couple mcgee dogs, are going to pop out. I'm actually going to turn around, run away, and go back to this ladder here, and then I'm going to pick them off from the ground. Now, if you're very quick to the trigger, it is possible to just shoot them right there and get it over with, but they're very fast, and sometimes they'll do that jumping move. They're also just very unpredictable. Sometimes they'll focus on you, sometimes they'll only focus on Sheva. Like you saw right there, they pretty much were only focused on me. Sheva was able to go right past them up the ladder. Another reason it's good to run back while you fight the dogs is because, as you'll see right here, Sheva's actually doing a good job, but there's a crossbow mcgee up here on these storage containers, and if you try to fight the dogs, he'll probably end up shooting you with a crossbow, so it's better to just turn around, run out of that area, handle the dogs, and then handle the crossbow guy. Now this part here might be a little tricky because there's a big mcgee, there's a couple crossbow guys, there's a dog. So I'm going to show you kind of what I think is the best way to get through this. But yeah, so just to wrap up that point, that's why I have the vest and that's why I have all those healing items in the inventories, was because when I started this walkthrough, I never intended for it to be a no damage walkthrough, and then I just ended up forgetting to take all that stuff out of the inventory. So yeah, someone asked that in the comments on the first video of the walkthrough, and I was like, oh my god, how did I not realize that? Because I wish I would have explained it at the beginning, but nonetheless I'll explain it now, and hopefully that all makes sense as to why those items are there. Now you see, right when I get to this area, I'm going to have Sheva and I crawl up on these storage containers, and I'm basically just going to pick everyone off from up here. One of the dogs will actually hop over the fence and land on top of the storage containers, but you can see that he actually fell off while trying to attack me. If that's not the case, then just shoot him while he's still on the storage containers. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to let Sheva kind of handle the dogs if possible, and I'm going to focus on the crossbow mcgee across the yard that spawns, and now I'll go ahead and start picking off the dogs. Now, the dogs do have the ability to jump on the storage containers. I've seen a couple walkthroughs where people say that if you're on the storage containers, you're safe. At least in my experience, that's not the case. I have seen, as you saw right there, the dogs can jump up on those things. It's hard for them. They'll usually fail, but sometimes they will actually get up there. So you do have to be ready for that. You can't just be on the storage containers and think it's a given. You can't just think you're automatically safe. At least in my experience. So I recommend you just be vigilant and ready for anything. Now right here, this is why I decided to get the rifle for this level. I'm going to aim the rifle, shoot this barrel right here. That's going to knock over this truck. The truck is no longer a threat. Now I'm just going to take out the rifle, and I'm just going to go to town on all of these guys. You can see that there are hordes of mcgee running at me. There's a few crossbow guys. Without the rifle, this part is actually kind of difficult because there's a lot of enemies running at you. You can use the explosive barrels to take them out, but the crossbow mcgee will probably hit you in the end. Now, this is a no damage walkthrough. Chances are you're not doing a no damage playthrough. That's, it's not necessary. But on professional difficulty, one hit will severely lower your health, if not put you in the critical status. So, for all intents and purposes, you might end up basically doing no damage anyway, because any hit you take is going to severely reduce your health. And so that's why a lot of these strategies should, even if you're not necessarily going for a no damage playthrough, they should hopefully end up helping. Now you're going to come to these tunnels right here. There's going to be a number of dogs. We're just going to run past them. It's very easily doable. It's one of those things that seems impossible, but when you actually do it, it's really not that hard. You're going to get through this door here. The hardest thing is just making sure that Sheva stays behind you. Sometimes the AI will choose to engage the enemy instead of just running, and that's when things can get a little difficult. Now when you get to this area here, take a left. There's a treasure waiting for you. At the end of the little sewer here, there's a door with a lock on it. So I'm going to shoot the lock off, and then I'm going to shoot this guy. Now ideally what I would like to do is just run past all of these guys and get through the door. But you'll see a number of these flying parasites, they'll erupt, and so I decided just to take them out with the Magnum. It's a one-hit, one-kill. I don't believe they can come in here, so you'll see that it gets stopped at the gate. So as soon as you can get into this tunnel, you're safe. It's just that if you are going for a no-damage playthrough, I find that it's a little less risky to just kill them instead of trying to run past them. But if you're trying to save ammo, then you might want to run past them. Now again, notice how I do have the infinite rifle now, so I'll just briefly touch upon how you get infinite ammo for a weapon. What you have to do is you first have to have the weapon. You can either purchase it from the store or you can find it in the game. And then what you do is you have to fully upgrade the weapon. You have to upgrade every stat on it. Once it's fully upgraded, you can go to the bonus features menu and use exchange points to unlock infinite ammo, and then you just have to make sure in special settings that you have infinite ammo turned on. And there are a number of ways. There are a number of ways to fully upgrade a weapon. Chances are, if you're going for all the achievements or trophies, you'll have done it anyway, because that's one of the trophies. Real quick, you can actually shoot this guy now, and that will make your life a little easier in a couple seconds, so I recommend you do that. As for the rest of these guys, they're just going to run around, or they're going to run away, so you don't have to worry about them right now. Now right here, if you have a frag grenade to spare, what you can do is you can throw it over here to blow up this little market stand. It almost came back and hurt me. Luckily it didn't. And right here there's a treasure chest with a treasure inside. Completely optional, but like I said, whenever I do come across a treasure that is either one, easily attainable, or two, I happen to remember it's there, I'll show you how to get it. Sometimes, I'm not going for all the treasures. Some of them aren't worth getting. For example, in the first level of the game, there is a treasure you can get for killing the executioner. It's not really worth it. With infinite ammo, it's not hard to kill the executioner, but I wanted to emphasize strategy in that video over treasure, and that's exactly what I did, or at least exactly what I hope I did. Alright, so once you're ready, you might want to look around and get some resources. There is a BSAA emblem in this area, but once you're ready to progress with the story, you're going to go ahead and pick up these keys, and as soon as you do that, you're going to be ambushed. As you'll see right here, a number of mcgee are going to spawn, and this actually turns into a very, very big fight, which you can actually just run past. So check this out. What you're going to do is run over to this door, kick it open, and then just run over to the gate here. The crossbow guy is going to shoot at you, but if you just keep moving, he'll most likely miss. On professional difficulty, they are more accurate than usual, but if you're moving, they should still miss. you're just going to run. You're going to run. Notice how I have my flashbangs equipped, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to get to this location right here. I'm going to throw a flashbang. That will stun the crossbow-wielding enemies that you see right in front of me. I'm just going to hop the fence. Once you do that, Kirk will come by in the helicopter to provide cover support, but we're not really going to need it. I'm going to run up, take a left right here, straight to the red gate, and I'm going to wait for Sheva. And I'm going to maybe pull out the Magnum, pick off a couple enemies if I need to, but really I'm just trying to get Sheva to get her ass over here so she can open the gate with me. And that's it. We're basically going to run past this entire fight. If you don't run past that fight, it's a pretty big one. There are a lot of enemies. It takes quite a while. And the hardest part about that is just getting Sheva to get to the gate. A lot of times, I think I had to try that like 3 or 4 times, because a lot of the times Sheva would either start fighting the enemies or she would get hit, and then I wouldn't have enough time to run over and heal her, and we would end up having to restart that section. So that's probably the hardest part, is just getting Sheva to follow you. If you're doing this on co-op, then obviously that's not a problem. Otherwise, it's a really easy way to get past that section. Now what I'm going to do here, there's going to be a couple enemies you want to deal with right off the bat. So these 2 guys, go ahead and just take the opportunity. Oh, maybe it's only 1 guy, but there is a flying parasite, so make sure you take care of that. Here come the 2 I was talking about, so take them out. Now what you're going to do is equip a frag grenade. And when you run up this hill here, take a left, throw a frag grenade at the top of these stairs. It will kill quite a few enemies, and then you can just pick off the rest with your weapon. And that's a really easy way to kill all of these guys very quickly. Now, in terms of the S rank, because keep in mind, this is also an S rank walkthrough, some of the factors that go into that are enemies killed and total time for the level. Now, the total time does not include cutscenes. I think it did on the older versions of the game, but I can confirm right now that the total time for a level does not include the cutscenes. So you can even confirm that at the end of this video. You know, this video here turns out to be about 19 minutes long, but when you see the ending screen, the total time for the level will actually be like 10 or 11 minutes, because the rest of that is the cutscenes. Or it probably won't be that short, because there's not a lot of cutscenes in this level, but it will still be less than the total length of this video. So you might be wondering, like, that previous fight, I just ran past the whole thing, and I told you that that's a pretty big fight. So by running through that fight, I'm killing less enemies, and so I'm risking the S rank, because if you don't kill as many enemies, you might get an A rank on that part or a B rank. But by running past that fight, I'm also reducing the time, and that will also help me get an S rank for the time factor. Now right here, you're going to run downstairs, you're going to take out the rifle, and you're just going to start shooting as many of these guys as possible. And you want to shoot them as quickly as possible, because a lot of them will throw their weapons at Sheva, and if she gets hurt, you're not going to be able to heal her from here. Now again, that's why I have her holding all of the health potions. That's why I have her holding all of the health items, because if she does get hurt, she has the ability to heal herself. I don't have to get over there. And then as soon as you see her make a run for it, you're going to go ahead and run downstairs. She'll open the door for you, and then you can carry on with the fight. Now, I advise against, you'll notice that when she was taking her stand up there, there was an explosive barrel. I advise against shooting that, because a lot of the time she'll get caught in the explosion, and that will cause her a lot of damage. So I typically refrain from shooting the explosive barrels. What you're going to do now is run over here, trigger a short cutscene introducing the chainsaw Magini, and then we'll take him out. Alright, so take out your strongest weapon, your Magnum, your shotgun, whatever it may be, and just start shooting him. And you can see that, like with the Magnum, again, this is why I recommended using the Magnum, it only takes a couple shots to actually put him down. Now, you have to wait a couple seconds, because he actually will get back up, as you see him do right here. And so I'm actually going to just kill him so that he's no longer a threat. There's going to be a number of enemies that spawn behind you, so before you run away, you might want to just turn around and pick them off so that they don't have the opportunity to sneak up on you. And that's really it. At this point in the game, like I said, when you've accumulated all these resources on your previous playthrough, the chainsaw guy is really not that difficult, because with an infinite magnum or an infinite hydra or whatever weapon you may be using, it's really just child's play. It's really easy to take them out. And that'll pretty much do it for this video, guys. The rest of it is going to be one very long cutscene. I will join you at the end of the video during the sign-off so we can look at the stats together. But other than that, thanks for watching, and here's the ending cutscene. It's pretty long. It's about 3-4 minutes.
Oh my God.
Man, am I glad to see you guys.
Delta Team Captain Stone.
Chris Redfield.
Shiva.
Thanks, Josh. I owe you one.
You guys know each other.
I trained under Josh. He taught me everything I know.
Shiva became little sister of the team. Now, Shiva, you must continue your search for Irvin. According to the data we retrieved from the hard drive, we believe he has moved on to the mining area. There's more info inside. We'll follow after taking care of business here. And keep your radio handy just in case.
Thanks, Josh.
Jill.
Chris, are you all right?
This picture, it's... forget it. It's nothing. Let's move out.
Alright guys, that'll do it for Chapter 2-1. Again, we get the S ranking. You'll notice, like I mentioned, the total time for the level says 13 minutes. That's because, like I said, it does not include the cutscene time. So you don't have to worry if you're going for the S rank. You don't have to worry about sitting back and enjoying the cutscenes. It will not add to your total time. Once again, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed this. And, yeah, I will see you in the next video.